everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, before we even do anything, I'm just going to give you an opportunity to go ahead and invite people into today's broadcast. And usually that takes about 30 seconds, and then we will kick the show off formally. I've noticed that whenever I just start the show and don't give people that 30 seconds or so, it throws things off. So let's give you 30 seconds now. All right, everyone, welcome back. I hope that you all are in your seats, in your virtual seats. I have Stephanie Wooten with me today. How are you, Stephanie?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
We're going to have a great time today. And listen, people, today we're talking about how to clean the air, basically. I think if we can kind of sum it up in a nutshell, it's been so much happening in our world, but we're going to be talking today to Stephanie Wooten, and she has some state-of-the-art type of cutting edge information that's going to be shared on today's broadcast. So invite your friends and your family and your coworkers as we get ready to learn more about Stephanie and her journey to help us clean this air. All right. You ready, Stephanie?
I'm ready. Thank you.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started with today's episode. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Balanced Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Yes, everyone, it is the Kim Jacobs Show, and we are here with Stephanie Wooten today, and you are in for a total treat. So get ready for what's going to be an incredible episode. Let me grab my glasses, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in today's episode. Stephanie Wooten's professional career has focused on senior executive roles in sales and revenue management in financial services and healthcare. She had responsibility in building, implementing, and executing and managing new products, leading and building sales teams, profit and loss, and strategy. Over the last 20 years, she has worked for ADP, First Data, which is now FIS-Serve, right? FIS-Serve, Vantiv, which is now FIS, and most recently in healthcare as a co-founder executive of EagleXPro, which we're going to learn a lot more about that today. She also currently serves as a board member for B-Motion Inc. And as one of the youngest sales managers to be promoted at ADP, Stephanie was one of 16 employees recruited by the past president of ADP to work for First Data, and a lot of us have heard of First Data. She built the SunTrust Alliance, and she has also been the most successful bank sales program with the channel and became the model for new bank partner relationships. With the SunTrust program, she's managed over 300 employees and had a bank portfolio valued at over $32 billion. As an SVP at FD, which is First Data, she was instrumental in building and implementing alliance bank programs, agent bank programs, cross sales and retention, managing over 800 employees. Now, this is just like a smattering of what she's done, okay? I'm going to skip down some, but I'm telling you that in each company, Stephanie has earned numerous awards ranging from President's Club, Circle of Excellence every year that she was eligible, and she was also awarded the annual First Leaders Award, Excellence in Management Award, and Leader of the Pack at First Data. She has graduated with a bachelor's degree from the University of Southern Indiana, and she also has numerous leadership certifications from ADP, First Data, including one 2-to-1 leadership building better leaders. She currently resides with her husband and sons in Nashville, Tennessee. So she's all the way from Nashville area. Please make sure you tell us where you all are visiting in from today as well in the studio audience. And she and her husband, Joseph Wooten, which many of you know Joseph Wooten because he's one of our experts here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Okay, so Joseph, they are founders of the charitable organization I Matter, You Matter. Welcome, Stephanie. How are you, Stephanie?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I'm not sure it's 20 years. I don't know.
It's been a long time, but listen, you've had some really extensive background work as far as being in the corporate sector. Tell us about that journey. And many people that have been in corporate America kind of look forward to, I'm going to retire. This is where I'm going to be until my day ends here. And then I can kind of go on and live my latter years. Tell us about your journey, because it sounds like it's very different.
Well, yeah, like you said, I did start out in corporate America. I've been very fortunate. One of the things I always notice, and especially with your show as well, is about mentors. And throughout my career, I had phenomenal mentors that really guided me and helped me. And so throughout my kind of corporate career, was very blessed to have some incredible mentors and the success. And so my last company was Vantive, which is now FIS. And that particular company, I was instrumental on Wall Street, got to ring the bell of the Hobet when we went public. And so then, yeah, so it was a great.
But is it really hyped up like that when you get to ring the bell? We see it from just a lay member perspective, but when you're there ringing the bell, how was it?
It's crazy because when you see a lot of the old movies, you hear the noise and all, it's just like noise all the time. Well, now it's all automated. So there's no noise. So that was really interesting because you had this perception that you were going to hear everything, and it's just like all automated to the point where, they don't ever let a stock in, they'll shut down a stock if it's going way too high or way too low. And it's all, computer monitored much more than it was years ago where they used to have the ticks, people were grabbing this ticker and this ticker, you see the old movies. It really is what happened.
That's the whole fun of it, right?
I know. So it was fascinating from that perspective. But yeah, you really see the history of it. So no, it was an incredible experience. Okay. I can sincerely say that. So yeah, I was very blessed. I had a great run there. When I left there, decided to really do something different. And, my whole career has really kind of been in moving money, which is great. People need to move money. But at the end of the day, I really wanted to do something where we could kind of make a difference. So I really focused in healthcare. Okay. And I helped and consulted on a lot of different projects, and then met my partners, and we founded EagleXPro. And so it's been real exciting because we've really been able to hear testimonials from people to say, hey, you've helped me from this perspective or what have you. And I think that's really important. And I think as you progress in your career, you kind of figure out, what really kind of excites you. Right. And so, which is fun. Like from a leadership perspective, I love helping people. I love coaching them. I used to say, I love seeing someone that I'd hire out of college. I'd see them, eventually buy a house and get married and have kids and see their life progress. And, you always want to say, gosh, hopefully I had a little piece in that in helping and aiding their success. And that's always, very exciting from my perspective, and it's very rewarding. But this side of the fence, when you can actually help somebody be better and health wise and things like that, just gives you a different, I guess, gratification.
That's good. Now, from a leadership perspective, how do you encourage people today that are watching? Because people that are watching, they're looking to balance and manage and juggle all aspects of their lives. And how do you, as a leader, a very proven track record type of leader, encourage those that are looking to become a leader on their journey?
Well, I think, with anything, first, like I said, I had incredible mentors. So what I say to people all the time, especially if you're in a company, reach out to people that are maybe a few levels in front of you or ahead of you and say, hey, would you mind? Would you like me? Would you allow me to be mentored by you? And you'll be surprised. People are always looking to help people in companies. Sometimes your HR companies, the HR department, when your companies will actually have formal mentoring programs set up. And what I always say, especially to somebody getting out of school, find a mentor. Find somebody that's going to help you and guide you. And so at the end of the day, you know, from a leadership perspective, the thing that I think people always make a mistake is that you want everybody to be like you. And that's not a good thing. Like I had a CEO tell me one time, nobody on your team is like you. And I'm like, could you imagine? That would not be a good thing. Like I like everybody like me. Like you want to have diverse opinions and you want to have people with differences, but you all want to be able to come together for a common goal. And so I think that's a big mistake. You'll see a lot of people that they like to hire people that look and sound and, you know, it's everything just like them. But gosh, how do you grow? And I think from a leader, I always took it from the perspective of that you're going to learn something from everybody new every single day, you know, and when you stop learning, that's a bad thing. And so no matter what level you're at, you want to always continue to learn. And so I think that's one of the things. I read a lot. I read a lot of business books. I read a lot. I read everything. So I read from mysteries, from, you know, romance novels to the whole bit. But I always mix in some types of business perspectives to really understand, you know, where people are coming from. And at the end of the day, people want to do great things and they want to inspire to be better. And so, you know, your job as a leader is to try to help them get there in the path that they want to get there.
That's really good advice so far. What I'm hearing is reach out to people. Don't wait for everybody to reach out to you. So reach out to people to become a mentor for you. Sometimes I think we're looking for someone to say, hey, how can I help you? But people are busy and they're living their lives and they don't know always that you need that particular help. So you may not be right in their periphery, but if you bring yourself into their periphery, then they understand, oh, you need this relationship. Let's do this, you know? And I really love that advice. Then the other thing that I heard you say is don't try to have people be like you because you want diverse opinions. And I love that point. Like on the Thekimjacobsshow team, no two of us are alike. Trust me.
That's right. I mean, if everybody was alike, gosh, how boring would that be? How are you going to grow?
Yeah, if you saw our group communication, they'd be like, well, Kim, I don't know what you're from. I'm like, well, hey, what are my thoughts on this? I have my own thoughts. And then we go back and forth. But the thing is, I love it because it gives everyone a chance to voice their opinions and their thoughts. And then we fall in alignment together. And alignment doesn't always mean that it's Kim's way. It's just, alignment that we're going to do what's in the best interest of the show. And I really appreciate and value that from my team members. So that's really good. I love it. All right. What'd you say, Stephanie?
I said, well, thank you. Actually, I'm writing a book. I have it, it's funny because I have it pretty much done, but I've got to get it into what makes sense because the way I do things is I just write it. And then I'm like, okay. And so then I'm like, okay, we got to put this in some kind of order. And that, writing it is much easier than the last piece of it.
I get it. Then putting it in an outline and really making it make sense to those that are reading it. Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's interesting. Well, listen, everyone, we're talking with Stephanie Wooten today, and we're going to be talking a lot more about how to clean this air. But I wanted to hear more of her personal story and her personal journey before we transitioned into that. What are some things that you have going on personally, Stephanie, that you could share with us today?
Well, one of the things, that you mentioned that we had founded our charity, I Matter, You Matter. And my husband had been working, he had a song called I Matter years ago before all the Matter stuff happened. And when he was off tour, he would go and speak at schools all over the country. And so we decided, gosh, we could use this as an opportunity to provide scholarships. And then the second piece that we really focus on is homeless vets. What we always say is the word homeless and vets should never be in the same sentence.
Never.
How does that even happen here in the US? And so we're very fortunate to really focus a lot on the charity. My husband is a musician, and so
that's her husband. Everybody should know this if you watch the Kim Jacobs Show, because Joseph Wooten is an expert right here on Freestyle Fridays. He's our historian, and he's always dropping some significant knowledge. So if you don't know who Joseph Wooten is, you're not watching the Kim Jacobs Show. All right.
Well, thank you. So we're looking now with things opening back up for him to do a concert specifically to raise money for the charity. So we're really now getting much more engaged. If any of your viewers are with schools or what have you and would like to have a guest speaker, that's what he does. He loves going out and speaking to schools, all ages. He's done all the way from little to all the way up to colleges. And so,
Wow.
so
I didn't know that,
Yes.
Joseph. Why would it take your wife coming on the Kim Jacobs Show for us to hear this information that you are a public speaker? So Joseph Wooten, who comes on Fridays, on Freestyle Fridays, as our expert, he also is a public speaker, and he has his lovely wife, Stephanie, who obviously knows more about him than he knows about himself.
That's funny. Yeah.
So how did you and Joseph meet? We got to hear some more details.
Oh my goodness, that's a crazy story. So we met years ago. They were doing a concert where Steve Miller Band, it's called CMT, it's Crossroads. And so where they take a legendary country music artist and a legendary rock artist, and it was Steve Miller and Kenny Chesney. And so we met years ago in passing there, and then didn't meet again for about 4 years later. And so I know it's crazy. So the journey has been a little bit crazy, and both of us had been divorced at the time. And so I see when you listen to our story, it's a little crazy because the universe seemed to keep putting us together. So I was on a project consulting. One of his brothers was on that same project. I'm like, do you have a brother? He's like, I have a lot of brothers. And so, it's just, there was just a lot.
You asked?
Yes.
You asked did he have a brother?
Yeah. His brother, Roy, actually was on the project.
But why did you ask that? What made you ask about his brother?
Well, because he was a musician and they were using him as the expert on this project. And so I'm like, do you have another brother as a musician? He's like, all my brothers are musicians. I have a lot of brothers. So so it's kind of funny. So so I just, it was funny. So we just kept doing some things together. And then ironically, Joseph got put on the same project. And truly, we just became really good friends. So, both of us would say, after our divorces, would we ever get married again? We would be like, yeah, no, I don't think so. I think, and so, but here we are. So we've been married about 4.5 years now. We've been together 8. So so it's very exciting. So, things happen when you least expect it. That's what I always say. So we've been very blessed. We have 4 sons together. I have 2 sons and he has 2 sons. And so we have 3 in college. So,
oh my gosh. So how is it with the blended family? How is it with the blended family?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. They call each other brother and, they help each other. And we're very blessed. We've got great kids. Now we have all boys. I tell Joseph at the time we ever get a girl, grandchild, or what have you, we're going to be broke. We might as well just say we're broke.
That's funny. And now how is it dealing with from a blended family perspective and going from divorce and remarrying, but you still have to obviously stay connected in some regard with the external family that you have for both of you? How is that for people that are watching?
It's actually been really good. My husband will always say, if you like who you are today, you can't regret how you got there. And, we're very blessed.
Wait, say that again, because that kind of merged.
Okay, if you like who you are today, you can't regret how you got here. Oh. And so, from a divorce perspective, I mean, we both have incredible kids from our prior marriages. So, you can't change your past. And so, I have a great relationship with my ex-husband. He has a great relationship with his ex-wife. We just went to a graduation party last week. Actually, today's his ex-wife's birthday. And so, we have a good relationship with them. But ultimately, it's, I think when you're in a marriage, things are good. And then they're not good. And it's sometimes good time to move on. And so, it's not that it's a bad thing. It's like, people are 2 different people, but that doesn't mean that the person on the other side of the fence is this bad person. There was great things that you did together. And so I think that's the way we look at it. And, I've learned so much from him because Joseph really takes a look at things of, look how blessed we are, look where we are, and all the blessings that have happened. And, it's fortunate. So we're very lucky from that perspective. And we've got great kids and, you know, blended families and the whole bit. But, you know, there's challenges like with everything. But I think, you know, I don't want to always paint a rosy picture because everybody has their challenges. But I think, you know, everyone works through it and we do it together. I think that's what's important.
That's so good. Well, happy birthday to you, the mother of Joseph Wooten's children. And so definitely like to give birthday shout outs as well. Stephanie is with us today talking to us about some of her life with one of our experts, Joseph Wooten. And then also she's going to be talking to us about EagleXPro. And we're going to be talking about that after this commercial break. Listen, I want to make sure that I let you all know that today's episode is sponsored by Snow Legal Group. If you have not worked with the Snow Legal Group or allowed them to represent you in a case, you're missing out, because Snow Legal Group, attorney Kenneth D. Snow will not stop until he gets justice for you and make sure that he gets it, whether it be through some type of accident that you've had or workers' compensation, whatever it is that you're dealing with that's not your own fault. Give them a call, 704-358-0026. Again, 704-358-0026. You can also email them at info@snowlegal.com. Please let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show did send you their way. And when you do, they'll give you a free consultation. That's their commitment to our Kim Jacobs Show viewers. Let's learn more now. Stephanie will be right back. And we're going to be talking with our studio audience for them to ask some comments, questions, or ask questions and share comments. And then we're going to talk about EagleXPro because they're going to even have more questions.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, we're back talking with Stephanie Wooten, and she shared some stuff that we didn't even know about our own expert, Joseph Wooten. How's that possible? Man comes on all the time, and I did not even know some of these things. Actually, speaking of Joseph Wooten, I guess I will just right at this moment put him in the studio. How are you, Joseph?
I'm doing just fine.
Tell us, why in the world do we have to wait for your wife to come on the show to learn some more stuff about you?
He's like, oh, Lord, what'd she say?
Well, I'm doing just fine.
I barely even recognize you without you sitting in front of your keyboard.
Well,
or piano. What is it? You can tell me music.
Every time I come on your show, every time I come on, I always am studying something else, right? So I always forget my stuff. So every time I come off, Stephanie goes, "Why didn't you say? Why didn't you say?
I can't wait to get the mic so that she can say what she wants to say."
But see, the thing is she's such a great multitasker, and I am one thing at a time. So I'm like focused on the one thing, and she remembers everything. So,
well, what do you want to say to your lovely wife today?
You're looking incredible. You're doing a great job. And the main thing to know about Stephanie is that she leads by example, and she's such a wealth of knowledge. So people want to pick her brain. And the main thing for anybody who's a leader is being a great example. If you don't lead by example, people don't necessarily listen to words. It's like, that's as a parent, that's as a leader. You lead by example. So you're doing a great job, Stephanie, as a leader, as a wife, as an example to other people. I'm enjoying watching you guys.
No,
I think you just got on here just to get some brownie points for this evening. That's what I personally think. Now, you're the historian. You always have like this real deep. If you ever watch a Freestyle Friday episode and Joseph Wooten is on, he's going to drop such deep historical facts and knowledge, right? Now, he gets on here and he's like, I just love my baby, and she's so wonderful. He's just trying to get some brownie points for ladies.
Well,
that's right.
That too. That too.
Thank you, Joseph, for popping on.
Thank you.
Bye
Thanks for
now.
having me. Love yourself.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody, let's go to the studio audience and see what some of your comments are. And then we're going to transition and talk more about this cleaning the air, which is what you all tuned in for today. All right. Timely subject, especially in light of COVID-19. You can't let your guard down. That's one of the comments that's coming in. Thank you from Andrew. Good morning. Good Tuesday morning. May your day be filled with blessings from Mother Wandra Audrey.
Nice.
Yeah, somebody said, I'm in my virtual seat this morning looking forward to a great show, and you have some great information that you're going to walk away with here today, so stay seated. And I see you, Chantel Patterson. Chantel Patterson, I want to say that today she is a faithful viewer here on the Kim Jacobs Show, always in her seat in the studio audience. She volunteers with Gabe's Heart Foundation as well, and she's always just a very faithful person. But today is her birthday, so I just want to give a special birthday shout out to our viewer, Chantel Patterson, and let you know that you have a Cash App coming your way, Chantel, okay? From me, from Kim Jacobs. All right. Happy birthday to you. Let's see. More people that's popping on here. I want to get all of these because I know after you hear what she's talking about, you're going to have more questions. Stephanie leads by example and is a great mentor because of that. That's from your husband.
Nah, thank you.
Love this show, Chantel says. Kudos to Joseph and his wife, Stephanie. Vicki L. Evans, one of our experts as well. She's an author of a new book called Gracefully Broken. So check out Vicki L. Evans. So let's see. That's very nice, Lady Justine Hillier said. Aww. I'm an unofficial Wooten brother, too.
There you go. He is, exactly.
Oh, the kids have a great time together, and they all love Stephanie. Oh, that's what Justin said. Really interesting show, very informative. All right. I love the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you, Linda Poplin. And we love your grandson, Tyler, as well, and wish him much success in his acting career. All right. Every good book story has a page that has to turn. There is our historian speaking.
That's right.
All right. Yes, Chantel, it is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. God can put it all together. Yes, he can. All right. So these are some of your comments that's coming in, but we're going to have even more comments after this. Good morning, Joseph. You are blessed. You have a smart and beautiful wife. I can't wait to meet you all in person. Whoever's typing that because you didn't give instructions that gave permission for us to know your name, just type your name too in your comments because then I can acknowledge you even further. Andy says, Stephanie is always an interesting guest. I'm looking forward to hearing more. Okay, as we look forward to hearing more, let's go ahead and deep dive. With COVID-19 taking place throughout the entire year, it has ravished our country, the world. People, just nobody could have prepared for what was to come with COVID-19. And the amount of lives that were taken as a result of this, it was over 500,000 people. I don't know the exact number right this moment as of today, but there were over 500,000 people that passed away from COVID-19. That pandemic was something that was surreal, something that had everybody on edge. We could not, we were isolated at home trying to say, okay, everybody, let's stay here. But then you don't want to be fearful because especially if you're a Christian, you're like, we can, God got us and we can go out and do what we need to be doing. But then you also want to abide by the laws of the land. So let's wear our mask and be in compliance. So many different schools of thoughts. Stephanie has co-founded an amazing product. And I want you to talk to us about that today, Stephanie. So I'm going to put that information up, but you talk to us about this product from EagleXPro. Take it away.
Great. Thank you. Yeah. So, prior to COVID, we in the US haven't been as concerned about air quality, of course, unless you were in a hospital or those kind of things. And so we have an Israeli patented base product that's been overseas for quite some time. Matter of fact, we're installed in hospitals in Israel, in the schools. We're installed in Israel's military. We actually installed in the Humvees. The interesting thing about the product is originally designed to protect the soldiers from chemical warfare and from smoke. And so, yeah, so very interesting. So fast forward to COVID, the factory did all the testing and realized, of course, we kill COVID with starting within 5 seconds to 30 minutes in an airborne and on surfaces environment. And they did a lot of testing overseas. And so my partners had a relationship with the factory. And so they came to us and said, hey, can you distribute this product for the US, North America, and Latin America? And we said, we'd love to do this. And so basically what it is a product that you can put in your air duct, or you can just, it's a mobile device. I'll show that device here in a second. You can take it with you. You can just plug it in, and it protects your environment. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about COVID. There's variants. You have the flu, there's MRSA, there's staph. There's so many things that are out there anymore. And it's really trying to get a high quality of air. And what we're doing is we're bringing the forest air inside. So the patented technology is actually duplicating nature. And so we get a lot of feedback on this product of just the freshness of, they can tell a difference of the air quality and those kind of things. We have somebody that told us that he put it in his air duct and we saved his marriage because he hasn't had to dust for 4 weeks. So that was good, because it makes your air ducts cleaner. It makes the whole space cleaner. And the quality of air overseas, people have been much more concerned about that than they have been here. But now, of course, people are saying, okay, I've got to make sure that I am in an environment where we're mitigating the risk, but we feel safe into that environment. And that's also what's important in getting things to open up. So to give you an example, we have installed in the Delaware schools. We've done a lot of work in Delaware in the prisons and governments and some colleges. The school came to us about 3 weeks ago and said they haven't had one COVID case since we installed in their school system. Yes, so that's
where is this again?
In Delaware. Yes.
Wow.
And so, but we're working, what I say is we solve problems. And what I mean by that is the first responders have come to us and asked us to design a device for your car so that somebody gets in the back of a police car, they don't put the policeman at risk. That's not just with COVID, that's with the flu, that's with everything, right? The other thing I learned when you talk about firemen, their clothes protect them, but when they get out of that fire, that those clothes are basic, the fumes and stuff that are coming off of their clothing is toxic. Right. And so then they're getting into a vehicle. There's all kinds of things to protect them once they get to the firehouse. But what happens from the time they leave the fire and they get in the vehicle? Wow. And so those are things that we're doing. We're running a test in a court system right now to get the courts back open. A lot of the judges are concerned about being in a court with all of those people, with a lot of different people, and exposure. And again, it's not just about COVID. It's about other things as well. It's about air quality. And so that's really what our focus is solving pain points, helping mitigate the risk, and helping people to be in a safe environment. It's been life-changing for us. You're in Atlanta, I'm in Nashville. The pollen is horrible. And so, for me, I've had no allergies this year. My mom has had no allergies. My husband, who you guys just met, has asthma, and it has been life-changing for him. So I tell my partners all the time, if nothing else happened, just what it's done to the health of our family has been tremendous. Wow. So that's been a huge plus. But another thing it does is it extends the shelf life of fruits and vegetables up to 2 weeks. So yeah, which is great. So I have avocados right now sitting in front of it, and every day we use them, and you fill the avocados and you'd be like, oh, there's no way they're good. And they are. And so one of the girls that works with us, she does it with bananas, all kinds of fruit. But yeah, it works. So, so the thing that I always say is that the fortunate thing is it's not just about one thing. There's a lot of other intrinsic value with the product.
Wow. Yeah, actually, Shannon's been popping in some of the benefits. So you can talk about some of these high density of ions. I don't do
yes
about this stuff. You can say any of this stuff if you want, but we popped it all in the comments section for you.
Yeah, so what's happening is it's using positive and negative ions, and a lot of people are familiar with the technology, but the problem is it would create ozone. So part of the patent is we don't create any ozone. That's the thing you have to be careful of, is you don't want to do something that then makes something else negative. So that's the plus. And so there's been a lot of tests on this product. We have all our certifications. There's a test in California called the CARB, C-A-R-B. I'm telling you, that's probably the most stringent test that you can get. That's been like, it took us probably 8 months to get that test done. And so we passed that certification. So, there's a lot of things that we're doing and testing for other things. For hospitals are looking for some other things to be tested for. Because there's other main big, used to be MRSA and staph. Now there's a lot more of these superbugs that they're having struggles with. And so unfortunately, my dad died of one of them called C. diff. And so we're in the process of testing for that right at this second. So, what I always look is like, if we can help one person and, we can mitigate the risk and make the air safer, that's a win.
Yes, it is. An optimal solution for best indoor air quality by using BPI system. And this is really great information. Everything and all of these benefits, we popped them over here in the actual comment section. Thank you so much, Shannon, backstage, who's putting this all up. Listen, Stephanie, what made you become interested specifically in air quality versus you were in data and healthcare and everything before? So why did this become a passion of yours to help co-found this?
Well, there's a couple things. So, like I said, COVID, nobody was really concerned about the air quality. I have a personal experience with my father and C. diff. I don't know if everybody's familiar with what that is.
No, tell everybody, please.
So, I don't even know what the long name of it is, but it's the shortened to C. diff. And what it is that you have good and bad bacteria in everyone's system.
Right.
And so when you take an antibiotic, it actually kills the good and the bad bacteria. And unfortunately, if it kills too much of the bad bacteria, it can create what's called C. diff. And C. diff is bad, and it's very hard to kill, and it's extremely contagious. So if someone gets it, like we had to go into hazmat suits when we were seeing my dad. And from the time that he was diagnosed, he went into one of those clinics that you just go on a Sunday because he was not feeling well. My mom took him in there. They gave him a shot of penicillin. And within the next day, he had C. diff. And within 5 days, he was gone. And so it just took over that quickly. And, when I was talking to the doctors, Vanderbilt was amazing. When I was talking to the doctors there, they said this is their biggest issue. And this has been 2017. And they were saying, they had lost a 20-year-old, they had lost a 70-year-old that same week. And what they were saying is that you don't know when your system is going to react and how it's going to react. So you could be a healthy person and you can get it. And so, too many antibiotics has caused this. I have an uncle who's a doctor, and he's like, we've caused this in this medical community because we have overprescribed antibiotics. So that's a huge passion for me because I knew nothing about it. It was a nightmare. I don't want anybody else to have to go through what we went through. And something that can be avoidable. And so if our system, we're testing right now. So we do MRSA and staph, and we've had all those tests, but we are testing on that. We feel confident that we're going to kill it. I don't want to make any claims at this point until we know for sure, but we need to know the time frame, like how long is it going to take us? So I know with COVID, we start killing it from 5 seconds to 30 minutes. We can eliminate it in a space, but because we've got the laboratory tests and those things to back it up. So that's what we're trying to figure out right at this second, is how we help do it. But it's so contagious when somebody has it. So.
Wow, I am so sorry to hear that. And it's nothing, in my opinion, it's very disheartening whenever it's something that could have been prevented, but who would know until it takes your father, or in my case, my son, passing away. And then it's like, what? This is something that could have been surgically corrected, but who even knew that? I didn't even know my son had the heart defect. So now other people have benefited from our demise, but so other people have been able to have their children officially have their heart problem defect surgically corrected. And I'm very grateful for that, because thank God that I was able to communicate that and say, hey, go get an ultrasound of your heart. And that's just a basic thing that is harmless, it's painless. So in your case with your dad, I think that this is going to be revolutionary. And I'm grateful that you have this level of passion to be able to help everyone else in the world as a result of what has transpired with your father. So.
Well, I appreciate that. And at the end of the day, like you said, if you can just help one person, that's a win. that's a win. And so, so we know the results on what we're doing and just overall and keeping the air safe. And, you know, as I got into this, you realize that we really don't have safe air. And I'll give you a great example. We went and we were doing a demo for a big corporation in Pennsylvania. And you have air monitoring systems that we can use and say, okay, here's the starting point. And then we turn on our system. You know, we've got the remote one we can use. Mm-hmm. And when we turned it on, the air quality in this room was horrible. And they had just gotten a brand new table in their conference room table. And there was like the lacquer, whatever it was on that table was emitting so many fumes and odors and things that you don't even realize that are toxic. And so we were like, there's something happening. And they realized that it was from the table. But that's the thing, is that there's so much stuff in the environment that we're just naturally used to, but inevitably it can cause other problems for us. And so, wow. Yeah, so that's where that is a passion. And, you realize that air is a big thing, no matter who you are. There was a study right before Christmas in Bloomberg. They take a lot of the top executives, like a lot of the Fortune 100 top executives, and they were saying, fast forward to like 2025, what are going to be the top products? Because we were in the midst of COVID still. What are going to be the top products? And they said everyone is going to have some type of air system, whether it's on them, on their car, in their home, in their business, what have you. Because, you want to basically be able to know that you're in some type of safe environment, and that, you can mitigate the risk to the extent that you can.
Wow. Listen, everyone, we're talking with Stephanie Wooten, co-founder and CCO. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay,
Chief
CCO.
Yes.
What is it?
It's a chief commercial officer.
All right, the chief commercial officer. I only have one job, Shannon, right backstage to know that, right? And she put her finger up. She's like, Kim, one job, if you would have known.
It's all good.
You have to see, even though nobody else can see her, I can see Shannon's facial expressions backstage. So she's like, I should pull you in, Shannon, for making me feel like that on the show.
She was amazing.
Stephanie Wooten, co-founder and CCO of EagleXPro. Literally, she has a passion to be able to help the air be better quality controlled. And her team of experts have revolutionized this world by being able to offer a product that's helping to kick COVID, according to the Israeli patent that is already approved, right? It's already approved.
Yes.
How can we get it approved here in the United States?
I'm sorry, say it again.
How do we get it approved here in the United States?
So it's a worldwide patent that they have. And so then what we've done is done testing here in the US. Okay. So there's all kinds of testing overseas, but then we did our own testing here at a lab that basically proved that we could eliminate the virus.
That's good. So that's why, hence, you got the Delaware schools and different. So you're having experiences here in the United States with your own testing. So
Absolutely.
what are some other examples of places that have had tremendous success here in the U.S.?
Well, we do anywhere from small businesses. We had a little yoga studio that said that, so like, just to give you an idea, this is our device. It's just little, and you can just put it in a room. This one does about 500 square feet. And she had bought that device for her yoga studio and was able to open up, and people felt a sense of cleaner air. And so she said that we were instrumental in saving her business. So those kind of testimonials are tremendous. So the fact that, we can aid people in feeling like they can open safely, which is tremendous. So we have everywhere from little businesses, from people in dorm rooms. I mean, my kids, they don't go anywhere without it. Like, this is portable. My son just flew on a plane. I'm like, you're not getting on that plane without having this device. He said the whole plane was clean, just by the way, because we had the device on.
Because he has the device, right?
Yeah. So when I go to a restaurant, I have it in my purse. I have a remote charger, and I just plug it in and I put it there. You just want to make sure that you're in a safe environment. Mom's living here, we're vaccinated, but at the end of the day, you just want to have that extra safety at this point. You just don't know. There's a lot of variants. There's still a lot of, unknown on some of these things. So, the better to be protected, but also to be able to be in kind of get back to some normalcy. And so So my kids take them with them wherever we go. We take them with them. I mean, my partners laugh. I'm like, this thing is like joined at my hip.
And how many devices would you need to cover, say, 1,500 square feet or 2,000 square feet of a home or so?
Yeah, so we have different models. So like this model right here, actually, it can fit in your air duct. And the patented product is the chip itself. And so everything else is just the mount. And so this can do anywhere from all the way from like, what we look at what's called CFMs, which is what's the airflow per cubic centimeter. And so this can do on average a room about, 1,200 all the way up to 10,000 square feet. So it's not always 1-to-1 on the CFMs, but we look at like how many, if you have one heating and air unit, your ceiling size are about 8 feet and it's about 1,500 square feet, you would just need one device. So,
wow.
Yeah. And then
That's
that one
awesome.
goes actually in the air duct. The other one is portable. And then this is the one that we have designed for the car units. So this has, believe it or not, I need airflow and I need electricity, and there's a small fan in here. And so that keeps the car safe. So we're tweaking this device a little bit. They wanted it to look a little different. So we're going to be coming out with that here real soon. So we're excited about that.
So do you currently mount that device, the black thing for the car, on the car somewhere? How do you put
this
that?
is just a mount. So this is just like a cell phone mount that you have. Like it just fits right in there. Yeah, it's just nice. Yeah. So yeah.
Amazing. So you just put that right in your car and it filters the air throughout the car.
Yeah.
Or if it's on a school bus, or if it's in the police car, or if it's in a fire truck or whatever.
Yep. We actually are designing we're custom designing. So remember the chips, we've got the mounts and we've got different things. Like the chips are small. And so we're custom designing for school buses, for the chips and a mount for the school buses to keep them safe.
And how many do you need on a school bus for, because there's a lot of children on a school bus? How many?
Yeah. So what really one of our devices actually can handle it, but because of the way the airflow goes, we're going to put one in the front and one in the back. So it depends on, and so different buses. So depending on the model of the bus, if it's old or new, some of the newer models, it's a little easier. The older models, you've got to make sure that we've got that coverage because of the way the airflow goes. Yeah.
Wow. And I know some of the viewers of the Kim Jacobs Show have actually purchased their own devices from EagleXPro. So I don't know which viewers, but you all know that you've been purchasing it, and I'm grateful for that, to know that it's working for you and your family as well. Today we're talking with Stephanie Wooten, co-founder and chief commercial officer, I love saying that, for EagleXPro. At EagleXPro.com is where you can learn more about the products that she's referencing and definitely be able to get your own device. Make sure you say, do they need to say that the Kim Jacobs Show sent them?
Tell us, please. Yes.
So make sure you say, hey, I heard about you on the Kim Jacobs Show, and they'll make note of that as well. And we are, wow, I'm just blown away by this whole thing, because it's revolutionary, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's been different products out in the marketplace. I think the interesting thing is from our product is just the diverse, all of the things that it can do. It's not just what I always say, it's not a one-trick pony, because at the end of the day, we've got more variants coming. There's going to be more stuff. This isn't the last rodeo on this kind of thing, but we can get it to where we can live safely, and be able to go prior to 2020 and go back to what it looked like in 19, right?
Yeah. And especially, how do you think, especially with you having that type of device, how do you think people are acclimating or considering reacclimating back to society whenever we've been in this mask mode for so long? What are your thoughts on that? Because I'm still wearing my mask even though I'm fully vaccinated. So that's my thought.
And we are too. My mom is as well. I think it's a personal preference from that perspective, especially if you're vaccinated, just because there's a lot of unknowns still. I mean, you've got to remember, when you look at just scientific studies that happens, across the board of, when something new happens, it's years sometimes to really understand what's occurring. And so we're still in the infancy of this. And so I'm always erring on the side of, hey, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I've had friends that have been a long hauler and they're still struggling with it. And so it's just like, I want to ensure that we stay safe. But to me, it's like wearing a mask this is my personal opinion. It's not difficult for me. So, to me, I like that extra protection. And then, like I said, if I go in a restaurant, I have this with me as well. So, but as far as like opening things up, we've had so many start and stops. I think that's where people kind of struggle a little bit with.
Right.
We tried and then we stopped and then we came back. And so I think hopefully we're on this kind of this arena that there seems to be phased in back opening things that are occurring, which is
Right.
good. So I think that gives people some comfort level. But it's still kind of that mental this is how I equate it. Back years ago, I remember my great grandmother, when she passed away, there was money all underneath her mattress because she had lived during the Depression and had no trust in banks. Didn't matter everything that it done, but there was no trust. And I think that's kind of what happens is it's like, do I really trust that I'm, it's safe for me to go back and be in a room with 100 people at this point?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think that's it's going to slowly get there because, you don't just all of a sudden be in your home for almost 14 months and wake up and go, all right, I just want to go out and I'm going to be with 1,000 people now.
No,
it's kind of that same type of thing. And I think everybody's an individual. But that's what I hope is that our products can help give people kind of that, sense that we're helping mitigate the risk. Nothing's ever 100% perfect because, you don't know what all is going to be coming. I read just not long ago, I don't know if you saw that, there was a bird flu they're watching right now in Russia that was with a bird and it went from bird to bird and now it's bird to human and human to human, right? And so, when you think about that, there's going to be more things.
Yeah, like gas shortage. I mean, who can predict these things? Now every time I see a gas station, I'm pulling in just to top the gas off. Just two weeks ago, I wasn't even thinking about that. I just would ride until I got down too low, and then I would just go get some gas. Now it's like a gas station with gas. So everything's happening in our society that's unbeknownst to us, that's going to come out of the midair that we can't always prepare for or be prepared for, So
that's exactly right. But you know what? When hasn't it? I mean, you go back years ago, there's when the flu happened, 100 years ago, basically, and they had that. I mean, there's always been different things, but, I always say we Americans, we're resilient and we'll figure it out and we'll make it happen. And, but you do it in a way that, you feel safe. And you do it what's comfortable for you. Like I look at it and, everybody can make their own decision. Everybody shames people for this or what have you. I'm like, at the end of the day, let them make their own decision. That's a personal choice, right?
Yeah. Whatever works for you.
That's exactly right. And so, but hopefully we're going to get to the point where, things are opening up safely and we get back to, like I say, get back to concerts.
That's right. Yeah. What else? I mean, you're biased over there, Stephanie, talking about get back to concerts for your husband who's a person that's a performer and he's ready to do some concerts. That's what you're talking about.
That's right. That's right. And
he's ready to go and be like, hey, I'm here, baby, to support you.
Yeah, and slowly, he's starting in June. He got a lot going on, so
that's good.
So we're slowly starting to see things happen, which is so good. But what I do love though, one of the byproducts is that I think during COVID, people really realize what's important, right? And so that when that happens, that's always a good thing. So kind of reset, and I think that did it for everybody, because we were running at 100 miles an hour. So
right.
Sometimes it's nice to step back and go, all right, let's slow this pace down a little bit more and really focus on what's important.
Well, more studio audience comments and questions are coming in. Let me get a quick question in here. Does the portable machine run on batteries, plug in rechargeable batteries?
It's a great question. So like this machine right here, so it plugs into electricity. It's just 110. I plug it into, do I have one of these devices? I don't think I've got one right here. I just plug it into a remote battery that I would charge my cell phone with. I can get an adapter that can go into a USB. So you can do that as well. So
that's very good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good question.
Now,
that was from Shannon.
We are working on a new battery product. So
say it one more time.
We are working on a new battery product. So that we will be coming out with that soon.
But right now you can charge this in your USB through a USB
Yeah,
or
or you
through
can
your
just get a remote charger. Yeah, I have a remote charger that can just plug in regular electricity. Like I can plug my laptop in it. I can plug a cell phone in it. It's about, I was thinking I had one right here, but I don't guess I do.
Well, I'm going to commercial break in a second, so you'll be able to run and grab that. But let me go to another studio audience comment. What came after the pandemic 100 years ago? The Roaring 20s.
That's
Here's
right.
the new Roaring 20s. This is a historian husband.
That's right. And that, you know, it's a true statement. It did happen. And so I think that's what's exciting. And, you know, let's look for some more growth. This would be great.
That's right. And everything that you share, Joseph, is so profound and very great words of wisdom. So I'm grateful to have you as our expert here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Let's see. Ruby Holmes says, great show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And also be sure to subscribe, everyone that's watching. Go to our YouTube channel, The Kim Jacobs Show, and make sure you turn your notification bell to all once you subscribe. That way you'll be in the studio audience. And when we go live Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you'll be right here, okay? All right, let's go to our next commercial. Is a sponsor that took time from the Charlotte and from the Richmond area to be one of our sponsors today is Hunter Everidge Law Firm. They focus heavily on Social Security benefits and disability. They focus on things like if you're having a wrongful death of a loved one and you're having to pursue something after that's happened, if you're dealing with workers' compensation or you're dealing with an accident that's no fault of your own, then definitely reach out to Hunter Everidge Law Firm and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. The Kim Jacobs, no, it's the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. Their phone number is 704-377-9157. I do have personal experience with them as well. And I'll tell you that they have great customer service and will definitely get the job done for you. 704-377-9157. And they are again in the Charlotte and the Richmond area. So we're going to learn more about Hunter Everidge Law Firm now. And then we'll be right back.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter Everidge, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
All right, everyone, we are back with Stephanie Wooten, who's talking to us about EagleXPro, which is, in my opinion, a revolutionary type of product that's helping to clear the air from some of the things that you may experience, whether it's MRSA, whether it's staph, whether it's flu and COVID, you name it. It's been a patent that's a worldwide patent that's already approved. And you can go to EagleXPro.com to learn more about EagleXPro and all of the products that are available to you right now. They're even creating some newer products that's going to be battery operated as well. So those things are coming down the pipe, but don't wait. You might as well go to those now. The ones that are available, there's no need to sit around and wait, right? And that's what I think.
Here's the battery pack that I have.
Oh.
So like my sons just took it on the plane with them. I take it, I put it in my purse, and then, you know, it just sets on there. So it has, you know, just a regular plug-in, but it's got USB on it as well. So yeah, it's easy. I say now I have to carry a big purse now though, because I shove it in there.
Right. But it's well worth it because you get a chance to plug your laptop. You can plug everything into that. So, and then it plugs right into the car. Or yeah, it's so simple. So I love it. Again, that's a corporate thing, I think, because anytime that you've been in the corporate world, like I was in pharmaceutical sales for years, all of us had that you have to have it. It's like, what? You got to get stuff done and you're in your car a whole lot. So you need to be able to easily get work done sitting in a parking lot somewhere, you know?
Very true. We've all lived it.
All right, so everybody, let's see. Any more comments came in so we can get these questions answered? Let's see. Okay, and this EagleXPro BipolarIonization creates virtually no ozones compared to the other products.
Yep.
It's worked wonders for Joseph's asthma. He said, according to their family testimonial, his chest would cave in and out. And now with the EagleXPro, he doesn't have any problems with his asthma.
Yes.
Vaughn
Very
says,
true.
and Andy, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Healthcare workers can spread the bacteria to their patients if their hands are contaminated.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
And then C. difficile bacteria and their spores are found in feces. People can get infected if they touch surfaces contaminated with feces and then touch their mouths.
That's part of C. diff. But if someone who's infected with it, if you just touch them, it's so contagious. It's so contagious when somebody has it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make sure you all visit EagleXPro.com to learn more about Stephanie Wooten's product. And Andy says inflammation of the colon caused by bacteria Clostridium difficile. Okay. Lots of stuff about C. diff. Yes. Yes, I know about C. diff, Vaughn says, from working in the VA hospital. This is great information. We need that. Many in this family are asthmatic. Yes, Justine Hilliard, go to EagleXPro.com and place your order today. Like I'm now the new sales rep. Like, became the sales rep. Yeah, go to EagleXPro.com and get your device and help your family. Let's see. I didn't want to miss any of the comments. Oh, my mom said, oh, mommy. She said, it's your mom. For some reason, my name is not showing up. And I said, good morning to you, Stephanie and Joseph. The second text, I can't wait to meet the Wootens in person.
Well, we would love to meet you. That would
Mommy, it's not the same having you be the Facebook user. I need Ella Spratley. We got to work that out. I don't feel like my mom's here. She's here, and I didn't even know she was here. I was like, oh, where's my mommy? Okay, Mom, I'm so glad to have you. All right, everybody, listen, I've totally sidetracked. What's something that you want to share with people that maybe you didn't get a chance to share? I know you said you had the concerts coming up, and any other things that you want to share about EagleXPro as we prepare to close out today's episode, Stephanie?
Oh, I think at the end of the day, it's all about, having yourself into a clean air environment. But I think the biggest thing, which is what your show is about having balance. So no matter what job you're doing, no matter what you're doing from a family perspective or job or whatever, is try to focus on that balance. And a lot of times we all teeter-totter, let me tell you, because I've been there. It's hard to do. But I think the more you work at it, the more rewarding it is.
Excellent. Okay. Well, listen, today has already been a very informative episode with Stephanie Wooten. She told us some personal things about her and Joseph that we knew not of. And then we also had the wonderful opportunity to learn more about EagleXPro. And you can get your device, whichever one is customized that would fit your needs, at EagleXPro.com. And all of the products are housed right there, correct?
Yes, we warehouse. We're manufacturing here in the U.S., by the way, all the outsides of the coverings and everything. And then we have a warehouse in Las Vegas. So.
I am so proud of you, Stephanie. I don't even know you like that, but I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Look at you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, you are a great mentor just in what you do. Just remember that.
Well, thank you so much. Listen, everybody, if you want to support the Kim Jacobs Show, it's been scrolling today throughout today's broadcast. Any of your online financial contributions do make a difference to the show. Stephanie, thank you and EagleXPro for being one of our financial contributors. We greatly appreciate it, and it has made a tremendous difference in our organization and allowing us to be able to bring balance to the world one household at a time. Without the support of viewers like yourselves, it doesn't matter because we can't come on every day because I would need to go work a job, right? This is my job, guys. So help make sure that you guys get this type of content Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So I definitely want to close out with your husband's song.
Great.
I matter, you matter.
Thank you.
I think that would be so appropriate. What do you think?
I think let's do it.
All right. Did you have any closing comment? Final thing?
No, other than you're amazing. You're amazing. Such an honor to always be on here.
Well, thank you. You can come back anytime and you can be one of the experts too. Don't feel like Joseph. Okay. Listen, let me give you a formal invitation. You can be our clean air expert.
There we go. All right. That sounds great. That sounds great.
So anytime you want to come on a Freestyle Friday, pop on and say, I'm here too. It's not just Joseph, the historian, but I'm here to talk about the air.
Sounds great. Awesome. Well, you're incredible. Thanks again. It's always a pleasure.
All right, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get ready to close out today's episode. If you'd like to be able to be a talk show host yourself and would love to be able to know from A to Z how to make that happen, we do have a course, and it's right on KimJacobsConsulting.com, and you can learn more there about the 4 or the 8-week masterclass on how you can have your own show. And your show doesn't have to be one that's just for entertainment. It can be one for education. And Stephanie, different people that have educational products, you have a story to tell. You have a show. You have something that the world needs to know about. So definitely go and check out KimJacobsConsulting.com. We're going to close out today's episode with I Matter, You Matter by Joseph Wooten, Stephanie Wooten's husband. I'm so excited.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see if I'm good enough here to make this happen, because I had this on here a while ago and I kept it. I was like, I'm going to keep this. I Matter, You Matter. Here we go. Have a great one, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Thank you so much.